Hello, everybody. Hello, Tildet.
Hi, Wendy. It is so nice to be here with you.
Oh, so nice to see you. And you're wearing purple, which is the color of healing. Of course you are.
Yes, I intentionally picked so whatever we can do to keep the intentions in the right place.
Exactly. So I want to just introduce everybody to you and tell them who you are. So Tildet, she's a life and business coach. She's also a stress educator. She's an inspirational speaker and also does staff training. But I call Tildet the stress alchemist because she works at through the soul cave. She does privates, but she also works through the soul cave, and she does a lot of team building and a lot of group exercises, and then one-on-one when people come in really stressed or they're overwhelmed by life or they're having a lot of, a difficult, challenging time. And so you also hold meditation classes, and there's so many things that you do. But because, we're dealing with this time in our lives and people are just really stressed and, this is unprecedented. Nobody knows really how to deal with this.
Yes, yes.
So really what we all need is tools on coping with stress right now. And what you're really an expert at is teaching us how to keep calm and resilient in times of stress. And so can you give us some tips, love, of what we could do right now to keep calm?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you, Wendy, for this opportunity, and welcome everyone. First of all, I want to acknowledge everyone, Wendy, because we are all triggered and with our safety, whether it's health, finances, there's a lot of fear and anxiety going on.
Yeah.
So however you're feeling, whatever feelings are coming up, it is natural. So it's really important to be compassionate for ourselves and for each other, because everyone's coping with stress is different. Everyone's reactions are different, and some people may be in denial, some people extreme fear, some people anywhere in between saying this is temporary. There's so many different ways we can react to this. So there is no right or wrong way. It is just allowing where we are as we are so we can move forward. So I really wanted to emphasize that, because I really want to prevent us from correcting ourselves or each other. So we can be in that place in our hearts that we can be understanding and we can be heart to heart, having deep conversations with each other, listening to each other carefully so we can provide the support that we all need at this time.
No, that's true. That makes perfect sense, because I feel like, I'm so used to being hard on myself and being goal oriented. And then suddenly I'm like, can't do so many things. And it's like,
Yes.
I've got to learn how to not be hard on myself. So it's true, like being more, compassionate with ourselves and each other, because we're all going through it.
Yes, it's really important because there's so many factors and there's a collective grief going on right now. Life as we know it has changed. The normalcies have changed. We're conducting our personal and work life very differently. There is the fear of what the finances would be like. There are people being laid off. Our health is threatened. There are some people that are going through COVID-19. So there's a lot going on. We don't need to add on. And that's why it's really important to keep calm and centered, because as anxiety and stress is contagious, so it's calm and centeredness.
Right. So tell us, so then what can we do? How can we remain calm in this time?
Yes. So at this time, first of all, I also want to remind everyone we need to limit our horizontal intake. News, social media, friends, family, constantly telling us what's happening and the threats that are out there, this, that. Yes, we need to be informed. That's important, but we don't need to get so attached to the sensational news that are going on that are charging us at all times. Because the more charged we are, the less adaptable we become. The more centered and calm we are, the more resilient and adaptable we become. And these times are calling for that. So what do? It is time to vertically connect. It's
Okay.
time to go to our inner resources and tap into our wisdom, our knowing, our higher self, our strength, our love, our light. And we all have that. Everybody has it. You have it. Everybody that's watching this, you have it. We all have that inner knowing. We know what is right for us and we know what's wrong for us. So what may work for me may not work for you, Wendy, but if you go in and ask yourself and really slow down the chatter, the outside noise, so you can hear your inner voice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? And that, how will we do that? That also differs from person to person. Of course, there's 5 things that are very important right now, and I'm sure you've been going over this with all your interviewers, but I will repeat it. Maybe there's a little bit difference here, a little similarity there, right? Yes, we do need to eat healthy. We need to get good rest and sleep. We need to hydrate. We need to move. We need to recharge throughout the day, and we need to socially engage. Yes, we're physically distant, but that doesn't mean we need to be socially distant. And you're doing such a great job of that, Wendy, by holding space for everyone to come together as a community so we can slowly engage and be there for each other, because these times it's much better that we do it as a community and we go through this together, because together is better.
It's true.
Now,
We're
having
stronger
said
together.
that, yes, love, I'm sorry, I
No,
couldn't.
sorry, we're definitely stronger together, you know, and we all
Yes,
need help, and everybody has their own
yes,
special magic. Like, yes, people have said what you just said, those 5 basic things, but it's always good to keep hearing them, because, you know, you wake up every day and it takes like discipline to do those simple 5 things.
yes, yes. And so how are we going to recharge? That too changes from person to person, right? Some people meditate, some people do yoga, some people go in nature, going in walks, dancing, and journaling, having a gratitude list, putting your favorite music on, writing poetry, um, hugging your pet, hugging yourself, whatever it is that recharges you. So we want to go from depletion into fullness. So we're giving to ourselves and to each other from that fullness.
I love that. It's great. And what you're saying also is, so, you know, a lot of the time people go to bed and then that's when they start thinking about all the bad
Yes.
things that happened. And so it's really, you know, you're talking about gratitude. It's so good to like think about some things you're grateful for and then fall asleep instead of thinking about anything negative, because then when you're sleeping, you start, you know, your subconscious is still awake.
Yes, and you're bringing a great point, because what we focus on expands. So if we're focusing on gratitude, it's going to expand. I'm finding myself when every morning when I wake up and every night when I'm going to sleep, I am so thankful for my body. Like I'm like every inch of my body, every millimeter, I'm going matrix and every measurement possible. So I'm really making sure I hear it deeply. I'm so grateful for my body, for each cell in my body to work the way it's working right now. I'm like grateful to every cell, and I am really connecting to that instead of what could happen, because there are many things that are out of our control, and that's what's creating the anxiety and the stress, because this stress is ultimately the gap between demands and capacity. So the bigger the demands, the less the capacity, the more stress we're going to feel. So we may not be able to at this time to do much about the demands, but we can certainly expand our capacity. And that is really important, the self-care. I keep saying, you know, we've been talking about self-care, you and I, and at the Salt Cave all the time, how important it is. But now it's crucial.
Yeah.
And it is so important. So we expand our capacity, and that will come from really stopping throughout the day and checking, where am I right now? Where's my stress level at? Some awareness as to where we are, not to be hard on ourselves or criticize or wish we were somewhere else, but where am I? Where do I need to go? And what do I need to do to get there? And really listening to our body, really listening to ourselves, so that we can be there for our families, for our community, for, globally we're going through this. It's a humanness, and we're all in a roller coaster ride. And it is minute by minute. I used to say day by day. It's no longer day by day. It's minute by minute. Really looking at where we are and navigating ourselves to where we want to go.
It's so true. And it's a choice, because,
Yes.
and it's so easy for me to say it because I struggle with it also, but, we are in this time no matter what, like this is it. And so we can choose, are we going to like make the most of it and maybe, learn something new, like take my brother-in-law is learning how to speak Spanish, and I never have time to do yoga every morning, but I'm doing it every morning, so just choose one thing. This is where the choice comes in. Choose one thing that you want to learn or want to do that you don't usually have the time for. I think that we've
yes, and I love what you said. One thing is so important. Don't overwhelm yourselves with doing so many things. Stick to one thing. And for me also, I signed up for a 30-day dance challenge.
I love that.
So I am dancing every morning, and it's putting me in the good mood. I mean, by afternoon, things may change. And then, when you said we're all going through this, we're all going through this as healers or non-healers, as stress mastery educators or not, because we're human and it is normal. But focusing on the things we can control brings us back to safety. We can control our breath. We can control, like you said, what we choose. We can control our attitude. We can control our thoughts. The more aware we are, the more we can focus on the things we can control, then we will calm down, because control is back.
So
and we will start again.
Yeah.
The trigger will come. We will go through the spin. We will come back. And it's really important to connecting to our breath and doing some breath work. We don't have time today, but we can maybe, doing, and maybe you're already doing it, the sound healings you're doing. It's wonderful. Anything that makes each one of us to be centered, so we are resilient and adaptable. And also, one more point, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but also I want to remind everyone, Wendy, that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. So we need to pace ourselves. So if you feel you're speeding up, stop, slow down, get into your rhythm, get into a pace. If you're feeling pressure, step back, get into a pace. So we have a pace running through the marathon, so we can get there and feel good and celebrate.
I love that. It's true. It's just a, like different perspective. It just makes it more manageable.
Yes, exactly.
But you're right. So, I mean, today, just so people can get already a taste of you and get some simple tips, but I know that you're working 12, 14-hour days and that you're still seeing a lot of private clients, virtually. And so how can people get hold of you, Tildet, if they want to? Because I know you're doing, and they can always call me and I can, send them to you.
Thank you. They can always go to my website, www.tildet.com. That's TILDET. Oh, it's already on the screen. I forgot. I put it on the screen. Yes.
And I'm going to put it on as well, all over. But I do think that we should probably do a follow-up next week, maybe with a little bit of breath work or, something.
I would love to do that. And, I have the 4-step process, safe process. We can also do that to make people feel safe. I would love to continue this so we can be there for each other. And these times are calling for community to stick together. And not only, also I also want to point out because I'm a lot out there, hundreds and thousands of people, and we are all in service and we want to give, but I also want to remind each one of us to give ourselves permission if we need help to reach out and ask.
Yes.
That's also important. We want to give a helping hand to others and make sure they are okay. But if you need help, also reach out to someone that can support you.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, love, because we all going to need help along this journey.
Yes.
I think it was designed this way so that we all, because for some people it's really hard to ask for help. So yes.
Yes.
Tildet,
Yes.
thank you for your time, love, and for really great information. Simple, great, all of this is just a few easy steps. I hope that people learned just a couple of things from this. I certainly always learn every time I talk to you. And I really appreciate you and your time, and stay well, love.
Thank you very much. You too. Be well, be safe.
Thank you, honey. Bye.